Hi, this is Monday around noon, and I'm just making a little video to tell you what we're going to do in class on Wednesday the 26th, Thursday the 27th, and Friday the 28th. So, um, always when you go to the page, click on refresh so you know the most updated version. And as you go down here, you can see these little notes saying what we had discussed in the previous classes. And that's your sort of guide as to how far we've progressed in the online detailed course outline. This seemed to be a very popular video. A lot of students liked that and found it helpful and made comments on it. This is a video I made a year ago, which was talking about the first couple of classes. The website looked slightly differently, but you could also watch that one as well for comments. The big thing we talked about last class was the competition aspect of the 6 environments. And this was another important thing too about the sources of information. And I would strongly recommend that you look at this video that I did many years ago. It's an excellent example of how you network with government and trade associations to get direct contact information from companies to go hit on them for doing business. So what we're going to start with the third week is the whole thing about globalization, and that's a big topic in many different ways, and we'll talk about the 3 aspects of globalization for customers and markets, which is kind of interesting. Also globalization of production, meaning where things are made around the world, and also the globalization of government and how non-governmental organizations like the World Bank, the IMF, etc. have a big influence on business. And we'll use examples like this little diagram showing where the different parts of the iPhone come from all around the world. And we'll also talk about some global marketing campaigns, and we'll discuss some failures and some interesting variations of target market segmentation. We'll talk about the situation of BlackBerry and how they were not successful in understanding the importance of competition from Apple iPhone. This is also an interesting video talking about sustainable development and how companies cut down trees in a pattern which is not necessarily good for soil erosion. And then we'll get into the cultural environment. So basically I said that looking at this course is the 4 P's and the 6 E's, and this relates to the social cultural environment. And we'll talk about things like diasporas, large groups of people in countries that move to another part of the world. And we'll also talk about some different marketing to different cultures based on the diaspora. So this link here goes to a list of a whole bunch of different countries, and basically what we do is we had students who are from those countries make comments on things you need to know to do business in them. So if your country's not there, you could add that into the list, and we'll talk about that as well, as also discussing some things to do with Hofstede and some things with the Canada-US differences. This is a funny video made by some students of mine at U of T more than a decade ago who just jumped in a car and went across the border to Buffalo, walked around the Walden Gallery, and interviewed Americans on how they thought about Canadians, which was kind of interesting. So that's what we're going to do next week.